Hello and welcome back to the Edinburgh Watch Company YouTube channel. My name is Jonathan, and on today's video we're going to compare the Rolex Datejust to the Rolex Sky-Dweller. However, before we start to look at these fantastic watches from Rolex, let's have a quick look at what I'm wearing on the wrist today, and it's not a Rolex. It's another great Swiss brand from Omega, and this one is the Seamaster Aquaterra. And this is a watch that's just recently come into stock and I think is an absolute beauty. Hopefully the camera can pick up the gorgeous blue dial with the Railmaster horizontal lines going across it. It is one handsome watch, 41mm case size in stainless steel. You can see there fitted on the alligator strap there with the deployment clasp, and I think fantastic value for money. A very accurate watch, automatic with a coaxial movement, really good lume on the hands and the hour markers, the date function there at the bottom, and it really doesn't try too hard, but just very nice little accents there. You can see the Seamaster in blue, you can see the tip of the second hand as it glides around there, and then the 30 at the bottom there in blue as well. So a really good all-rounder. So something a bit different from Rolex. However, you've not come here to look at Omegas, you've come to hear about the Rolex Datejust versus the Rolex Sky-Dweller. So let's go and start off first of all with the Datejust 2, because the Datejust 2 was where it all started when Rolex started to introduce a larger watch for their customers to wear, where historically it was a 36mm was the gentleman's size. So this particular one here is now discontinued. I think this one is around 2009, and a larger case than the 36mm, and this, as you'll see here, features the 18-karat yellow gold fluted bezel. It has a very attractive ivory dial with the index hour markers on it, and fitted here with the oyster bracelet. So I think it gives you that sort of sporty yet dressy look. I'm going to put this one on the wrist so you can get an idea. Now, many of you who watch these videos regularly will know my wrist size is an 8-inch wrist, so this is a perfect size for me. And there we go, you can just see it there. With it on my wrist now, it doesn't feel overly heavy. It's a little bit chunkier than the Datejust 41, which we'll see shortly. But I'll hold this up to camera as well. That just gives you an idea of the thickness of the watch. But I think overall, a really very attractive watch to look at. This watch is the Datejust 41. Now this is a watch that we actually took in the other day. It's actually unworn, and very rarely is actually in its protective stickers as well. And this features the new 3235 movement. So the Datejust 2, I think, came out around about 2007 and went up to about 2017, so like a 10-year run for that watch. And I remember being at the Basel Watch Fair when this model came out, and it's that little bit slimmer, that little bit lighter, and more changes to the style of the case from the Datejust 2. But the 3235 movement, it was a major sort of significant change in the watch, because they introduced a bigger power reserve. It went up from around about 48 hours up to 70 hours. They included more technology that would protect the watch from shock and also from magnetism as well. Accuracy improved from -4 to +6 seconds right up to +2 seconds. So again, quite a significant change in accuracy. But aside from that, it has a fairly familiar look and feel to the Datejust. In fact, let me just bring the other one back so we can compare these two together very closely there. You can just see just slightly different design, slightly slimmer lugs on that. And this one, as you can see here, it has the Jubilee bracelet on it as well, which again makes it slightly lighter, but it's very comfortable to wear. They both feature the Easy Link function there too, and if you haven't come across the Easy Link, not quite sure how it works, or you've bought one and don't know how it works, then we've got a video coming out soon that talks about how to adjust an Easy Link bracelet as well. But again, really pretty looking watch there. So we'll start to compare these two watches. We'll start to put the Sky-Dweller along with the Datejust, but this was just to give you a look at the style, the finish of the bracelet and how that all works on the Datejust 41. Now, of course, not everybody watching today is going to have a wrist size that can carry off the Sky-Dweller or maybe the Datejust 41, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity just to let you see the latest 36mm Datejust as well. And this one here is an unworn one that came in a couple of weeks ago. Now, very simple colors, black dial with the index hour markers there, the solid white gold fluted bezel, the Jubilee bracelet, and I'd probably call this now a unisex size, so perfect for a lady or a gentleman. This also features the 3235 movement with all the advantages that the 41mm had. And of course, this is the size that gentlemen used to wear, and in fact, it's the size that gentlemen still do wear. But the 41 has probably overtaken it now, so I guess this is okay on my wrist, but I think you'd probably agree a 41mm is probably a better size for me. So, although a little bit smaller than the other watches we're looking at, I thought this one would be worth just bringing out to show. So we now go and look at the Rolex Sky-Dweller. As I said earlier, this watch was introduced in 2010. And it was a watch that Rolex brought out as a really luxurious and complicated piece. It's a watch that, as you'll see here, it features a GMT function there, allowing you to have the time zone in another country in the world as long as your regular time. So the case size changed from the regular Datejust size. This is a 42mm case size, and if I turn it on its side there, you can see, and again we'll compare them later on, it's just that little bit thicker than a Datejust. The hour markers are quite similar, however, with the index markers there, but you will see here, just underneath where it says Rolex there's a red triangle, and the red triangle is the marker that you would actually use to see this sub-dial here that rotates there to give you the time in another country. You have that familiar date function there with the 2.5 times magnification with a sort of cyclops there, a very traditional look there for Rolex, and again making it really, really easy to read. But just down here at 7 o'clock, you can maybe just see at the end of this tip's a little, the hour marker is slightly shorter than normal because you can see there it's red. And that's actually indicating the month. So you've got the time, you've got the date, you've got the time in another country, and you've got the month there. A lot of features, functionality, but so simple with only one crown on the right hand side here. So to ensure that how it works, this bezel here on the Datejust, which is normally static, is actually called a command wheel. And by turning this bezel to different positions, by then bringing out the crown, you can actually adjust the date, the time, the dual time zone, and even the month as well, all just by turning this bezel to different positions. So it's really, really clever. The movement in this one is the 9001 movement, and the power reserve in this one is about 72 hours. This particular color you can see here is in black. The Sky-Dweller comes in steel, in white, black, or blue. And it probably goes in that order of desirability. Now, when I say desirability, well, it's all really down to you, what you like most at the end of the day. But as far as the market goes and the values of the watches go, then the white one is probably the least expensive in the aftermarket. Of course, the retail price is the same for all of them, but when they hit the aftermarket with dealers like myself, the white one will be the least expensive, then the black, and then the blue. Now we're shooting this video here in mid-October. I think we might have a blue one coming into stock, so if you like the blue one, then please give me a shout and see if we've still got it. But I think the black looks really, really good. I think the contrast, the black against the silver, works very well. They are fitted on Oyster bracelets or the Jubilee bracelet. Traditionally, for many years, it has only been on the Oyster bracelet. More recently, Rolex have introduced the Jubilee bracelet, so that's giving you a choice of two. Show you this watch on the wrist. And I think you'll agree, it's a really good size for me. It works very, very well. Really, really comfortable bracelet. It features that easy link function as well, so again, making it very, very easy for you to adjust if your wrist sort of gets a bit too big you can just pull the bracelet to adjust that and then put it back when you need to. So that's the Sky-Dweller in black. And then we have the last watch to show you before we start to compare them is another one that we have just got into stock here. And this is the same watch, but it features the steel and 18 karat yellow gold. So you've got black dial, you've got sort of creamy hour markers here, and then with the gold tips on, I think the gold just gets pulled out from the dial, tying in nicely with the rotating bezel here, and of course here with the oyster bracelet as well. So I guess like the GMT, another watch designed for those that travel the world, that Sky-Dweller is the perfect watch if you are traveling or you just need to know the time abroad. But aside from that, you may just like the look of the watch, you know, with that sub-dial and just knowing all the technology that Rolex have put into this watch, the engineering, and just how simple it is really, considering how much the watch actually does. So let's just hold this watch here a second, and first of all let's compare it to the stainless steel one. So you may not be sure whether you're a sort of all steel guy or you like the bimetal. I think the bimetal represents very good value for money. They haven't quite got the hype that the stainless steel ones do, and that's fairly typical, you know, across the range with the Daytona as well, with the GMT Master, with the Root Beer. Although they have actually started to strengthen recently, particularly with the lack of availability of the stainless steel watches. But there we are, two really handsome watches. We'll put this one aside and we'll bring the Datejust 41 back, because then we can start just to see difference between these two. If we put it on its side as well, and put that one there and this one here just gently, you can see the difference in thickness between the two. And then if I pop this one back on the wrist and put the Datejust beside it, I'm going to give you a sort of impression there of size. You wouldn't go wrong with either of these. They're both lovely watches. Unfortunately, you're going to have to pay quite a lot more to get a Sky. Well, actually, they're not that much more at retail, but you know, when they are pre-owned, then they are, you know, quite a bit more expensive. Let's go and actually compare the stainless steel Sky-Dweller along with the discontinued Datejust 2, and I do that because this is just that little bit heavier and that little bit thicker if you feel the Datejust 41 is a bit too slim for you. And we can see these two beside each other there, and they're not really that different. And I've put them on this side as well, and you can see, however, the Sky-Dweller is that little bit thicker as it's got that extra functionality in the watch. So there we are. That pretty well brings us to the end of this video today. Comparing these two lovely watches within the collection, and as I said, whichever watch you choose to go for, I think you would love it. Both fantastically accurate, great quality watches that will last you the rest of your life. So thank you so much for watching. If you found this video useful, then please just give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to our channel, then just again click there and you'll be notified of all the latest ones. Some of these watches haven't even reached the website yet, but we'll be photographing them soon, and we've got some lovely photography being done for our Instagram as well just now, so please go and have a look there, just at Edinburgh Watch Company. Thanks for watching. Remember, videos every Friday, so come back and see us soon. Bye bye.